Hey, everybody. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm Charlie. I'm with Empowering Brands. We're the digital media marketing company. If you don't know who we are, sometimes the times I forget to introduce myself. So I wanted to start with introducing me, and then Sonia, if you'll go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Sonia Matura. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and I am the Managing Director of Strategic Reliability Solutions Limited. Today, we are doing tongue twisters with all of the acronyms that we're going to have presented throughout the entire show. So if you get it right, you're good. You're good to go. All right. We are very excited about LRVS, and I'm going to introduce you to Josh Wagner, who is spearheading this event.
Thank you, Sonia, and thank you, Charlie. So yeah, Josh Wagner, and I'm the Director of Marketing and IT for Fluidtech. And we are and have been running this event called Lubrication and Reliability Virtual Summit. We had our inaugural launch last year. So I'm sort of the chairman of the committee here, and Sonia's been helping us out this year, and it's been amazing.
Well, so we're going to go into a lot of that, but I'm curious, just why is this important? Why is lubrication and reliability important to people?
Yeah, so typically you find there's almost a gap between the mechanical side of asset management and reliability, and then of course almost the chemistry side of the lubrication. So we're trying to help fill that gap and bring together these two worlds of the chemistry, the formulation, the how it happens and why, on the lubrication side, to help asset managers and reliability professionals understand the minutia of the interaction between machinery and the lubricants. And
well, I know for my own self, like over this years, I think almost 20 years I've been in the industry, and it's important. Lubrication of this equipment is important, and it's just a kind of a simple detail that people miss. And so I was just excited to bring that to their attention. So let's talk about that. What is LRVS? We see it on the marketing everywhere because y'all are great marketers, but what is it?
So it's a platform. So it's LRVS is Lubrication Reliability Virtual Summit, and it sort of evolved from back in 2019 and prior, where we were running lubrication academies, right? And so these were in person, sort of up to 100 people at a time in various areas of the world. And so when the pandemic hit, we, like everybody else, had to pivot to something. And the technology allowed us to bring all these experts together that we knew into one place. So instead of having these smaller pockets of academies, we brought this virtual summit together. And Sonia, you were
Yes.
part of that last year, and
oh my gosh, it was amazing. So when I saw the information for LRVS last year, I'm like, wow, somebody finally gets it. They need to have lubrication and reliability together. It just goes, right? And I was so super excited to be at the first one. And when I saw it, I was like, I was, fan struck, because I liked a lot of the different speakers. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Greg Livingstone is here. I need to go to his thing. I need to go to somebody else's stuff. So it was great for me, especially because it was virtual. And last year there was no traveling. This year I'm not traveling again. So, I'm okay with it being virtual. Plus I don't have to wear high heels. So I am totally okay with that one, right? I love the fact that it spans so many different time zones. Like, that is the most amazing part for me. And this year, instead of a one-day event that they did last year, they're doing 2 days. So we get 2 days. We get like, I think I checked it this morning. We have like 54 different sessions, Charlie.
That's amazing.
54. We have 6 panels. And then, if that wasn't enough, we decided we're going to have a pre-conference too, you know?
Yes. Well, I think it's really great that you mentioned it a little bit. Like you're bringing all this community together, and we definitely needed it during the pandemic because when it started, we were reaching out and like, okay, how are we going to learn? How are we going to, get the certifications that we need? Like, how are we going to do this? And so I'm glad that you created this. And is it going to be a regular thing? Like after everybody's traveling again, are you going to continue this event? Is it an annual event?
So this is meant to be an annual event. And so last year, Sonia said it was a one-day event, but we wanted to capture time zones. So it ran for 14 hours straight. So we were tired pups afterwards, but it was very exciting. And there was so much energy from I think we had 50 countries represented in the event last year, which is why we doubled it up this year. And again, we try to expand the hours to include everybody. I think we have three speakers from Australia this year.
Yeah.
Right? So we're all over the place.
Well, I'm a fan of Australia. I've been there back in my 20s. So I'm a huge fan of just connecting the globe. I mean, I started out my company and I was driven to connect the global pump industry for one. And I just think it's amazing that we're actually doing that these days through these virtual conferences. How is this different from other conferences, and what, can people expect?
Oh boy, I think one of the main things for this year is just driving the value. We know that a lot of people throughout the globe, they're still facing the pandemic. In some countries, they're still being affected by it. They may not be able to travel. They may not be able to, reach out as much as they can. But guess what? Virtual allows them to do that. And what we've done is that there are also value-added sessions. So one of the things that I love about conferences is that you get to see the speakers. You get to talk to them. It's not just like oh, well, I can see them from a distance, hi, bye, whatever. You don't remember my name afterwards, but that's okay. That's all right. So what we're doing is that we actually have an official media sponsor called Maintenance Disrupted. I think you know them.
I think so.
May
Yeah.
not.
I think I might have been on that podcast once. I'm not sure.
Maybe, totally maybe. Really great guys to work with. What we've done is that they've partnered with us, and a lot of the speakers are doing podcasts about the topics that they're talking about LRVS. So it's almost like an introduction. And with podcasts, notice with podcasts, they live on forever, So the attendees or even non-attendees could even get into the podcast. They can, listen to it, they can learn something from it. So we're doing that with the podcast, with some of the speakers. We actually have our official community sponsor, which was amazing because, as you said before, it's all about bringing the community together. And we partnered with the maintenance community. I think you know them as well. Yes, definitely.
Two powerhouse partners, by the way. If you ever want to build a community or a conference, these are people to work with.
Definitely. And just working with them, we love their vibe, we love the energy, and they gave us a dedicated channel in their Slack group. So it's called Lubrication Reliability. And we talk all about, do you know what we talk about? Lubrication and reliability. Right. If we didn't figure it out. Yeah.
So I just want to just clarify that. So it's in the Slack channel. So if you are not familiar with Slack, it's an app that you can download. It also has a desktop version. So you can interact with this community and build communities. We have one there too. And it's just really neat because I think it's about creating these niche communities, not to overuse that word, but bring them together so they can talk about the itty gritty, and I'm laughing at myself saying gritty and talking about lubrications. But you know what I mean. It's
and I would say one of the key parts of what makes this different, right? This is not a series of webinars. A lot of interaction, a lot of engagement. And we chose the platform that we're using in order to facilitate that engagement. So people can network with each other. So attendees have full access to each other. They can do a video call with each other.
Yeah.
Right? So if, in between the breaks, if you were chatting with another attendee across the globe and he's an expert in something where you need help with, you could hit the video call and you can have a chat with them. And this is all within the platform. And the same with the sponsors. They get to interact with the attendees. We even have video rooms, so sort of casual hangouts that are topical.
So fun.
You could pop in, pop out. So I think there's a difference between a virtual event rather than a sort of an engaged summit that we're putting together with this.
That's right. And I think you can have all of this content available for people, and you still need to have the engagement, people interacting, and like you said, getting to see some of your fans, the people that you admire, or your mentors, and having that connection when we haven't had it in a while. So I do want to get into this pre-conference a little bit. I'm just fascinated with any people who can put together something like this and market it this long, right? But then you added on a pre-conference. So tell me a little bit about what that is.
Oh my gosh, the pre-conference, it's like the lead up to the main event. And what we want to do with that pre-conference is just to get attendees engaged, get them familiar with the platform, and of course, be able to talk to their favorite speakers in this intimate setting, this video room setting. So what we've done is that there are a lot of topics that we wanted to have panels for throughout the entire conference, but we were like, we didn't have enough time. We would need like an entire week for that, right? And we don't want to have people, run out of steam. So what we're doing with this pre-conference is that from the 7th, Tuesday, the 7th of September, because the 6th is Labor Day in North America, we have to remember that. We are giving you all the holidays.
Giving you a little extra time to recover.
A little bit, not too much, a little bit. But from Thursday the 7th, we have 3 scheduled sessions every day until Monday. So at 2 p.m., that is Central European time, which is 9 a.m. our time. So we're going through time zones, right? We would have a panel session in the morning for us. Then we have a meet the author. And of course, we have some very good, very
like yourself, amazing author right here with us.
I'm on Wednesday, just saying, I'm on Wednesday at 10 a.m. just in case, And then at 2 p.m. Eastern time, every day we have another panel. So we have panels about root cause analysis. We have panels about an ESG, which is so important right now. And Josh is actually on that panel because, we need to have Josh on that panel. Josh is major ESG, right? And Josh, you'll explain what ESG means, just for those who may not know.
So it's about environmental, social, and governance, right? So corporate governance. And, I do have to say that, one of the things that we're also proud about the event is we're introducing a lot more, say, humanistic topics, right? So we have tracks on diversity and leadership, and of course, sustainability. So you'll see that both in the pre-conference and during the event itself.
I have to say, I was really excited to see that it was listed there. It's really important to me and my community. And it gives us something that we feel like, maybe if we aren't working on the equipment, we can still contribute. Yeah. And I think that's key. And I think it's important for us all to kind of understand all aspects of the equipment as well as the human side of things, right? Or otherwise, how are we going to be people-focused leaders?
Right? Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about leadership in there. We're going to talk about lubrication technologies, sensors, IoT, lots of fun things. And we'll put all this in a little comment or note so everybody can join. But be ready. Really just spend your September with us, right?
Yes.
So anybody y'all are looking forward to? Is there a special keynote or anything this year?
Oh, yes. So we do.
They're both excited.
Have a very, very special keynote. and it's Ryan Chan from Upkeep. So he brings the energy. We love, like we said, we love what they're doing. The dynamic of the team. They are changing the mindsets of maintainers, and we are so happy to have Ryan as a keynote. So I'm gonna give it off to Josh before I go overboard on that one.
So he's the founder and CEO of Upkeep, and which is a CMMS program, and his approach to it. And he just happened to be in Silicon Valley when he was in the plant, frustrated with what was happening, which led to this. And his story is amazing. But
I get to interview him coming up, so I'm really excited to dig in. Yeah. So y'all have to look for that on Empowering Industry podcast. Yeah,
totally. That's awesome. And so his story is amazing, and he's very inspirational, and he does a huge mind shift in what we typically have been doing since the 1950s. And I call it's technology meets reliability, right? So where we see ourselves as lubrication meets reliability, right, the technology meets reliability. So very excited.
I should write that down. That's so good. I'm just not remember that.
That's a good one.
Anything else? Any other panels to note, or?
Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm on another panel, and it's called Empowering Women in STEM. I am looking forward to that. I'm so happy we have that one this year. So I love the fact that we can actually bring more gender diversity into this forum. So that's my main, happy panel. But I can't choose a session, Charlie. I am going to be on all of these sessions. The great thing about it is that they will be on demand, available for all attendees for an entire year. So
amazing.
I know what I'll be binge watching, after, yeah, I'll totally be binge watching that.
Yes, but just to point out, it's important to kind of look through the schedule and see what you want to be there during the conference, where you can interact with the speakers. I think that's key, and ask questions, and maybe they'll be answered. We'll see.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And then there's a couple. I'll just read a couple. What does reliability look like in the next 10 years? Yeah. I thought that was very interesting. I mean, I have a little background in social media and watching it transform over the last 10 years. And so I'm excited to hear about it. What about you, Josh? Do you have a favorite one coming up?
The panels are always fantastic, right? Because that's where you get this. In many cases, these experts from around the world may not have met, right? So it's great to see them interact, and if there are opposing thoughts, and so I really enjoy the panels. There's not one in particular that
Okay, well, I see one that I have to mention. There's one that it talks about influences of AI and machine learning on the future of lubrication reliability. That's with our friend Blair and some others. And so I'm just excited that y'all are putting this together. It's going to be amazing. How people sign up? Is there a certain cost involved? How do they kind of participate?
Yeah, so you just simply go to lrvs.events. lrvs.events. The agenda is up, the pre-conference agenda is up. There's the full program, a list of all the speakers. Our sponsors are in there, and I think the tickets are less than $99. If you've got a team that you want to bring together, there's a group tickets for $79. And then of course there's the VIP session, right? So this gives you access to people like Ryan, where you could interact with him directly. And of course there's a nice swag box to be had for the VIP experience.
I love it.
That's important.
Yes. Well, you have to have some swag to go along with any events. It's not quite the same if you don't. And, I'm just, I could talk to you guys all day. I'm looking forward to getting to the conference, but we've got some stuff to do in the pre-conference before that, and to just be able to connect in that community. So we'll also, let everybody know about the Slack channel where you can get involved there. and just exciting stuff. Thank you all for putting this on. I'm a big fan of anybody who innovated during the pandemic so that we could still educate people. Is there anything else? I just kind of give y'all last word. Anything else you want to leave our listeners with?
My main thing that I want to leave you all with is that pre-conference starts on the 7th of September. Get your ticket before that date, because we're going to be rolling out all of the stuff on the pre-conference. The game is going to be starting there. I know we are all very competitive when it comes to these games. So we're always looking for discount codes and, you know, trying to get on top of the leaderboard. So if you attend the pre-conference, you're going to have that chance to do that. Right?
Get ahead.
Yeah,
She gave
get
you the
ahead.
secret.
Yeah.
I don't think we mentioned it, Sonia, that there's
Yeah.
there's gamification, right? So there's challenge codes spread out throughout the pre-conference and of course during the conference. And as you get these codes and redeem them in the platform, you accumulate points and you have a chance to win, you know, an Apple Watch, or an iPad, or all types of
Awesome stuff.
Conference swag, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
So it does get very competitive. So get in there early, get
Yeah.
your tickets now, so you prepare to get in. And the platform, you know, if you get if you're in for the duration of the year, and beyond. So it still means after the conference, you can still connect with people, you can still message them and the calls. So it's not, you know, the event is live during these 2 days, but it's still a community, right? It's the LRVS community after that.
I love it. It just flows off his tongue. He's with this community. Well, thank you all so much for sharing it with us. And I look forward to helping you promote it. I'm excited to be a sponsor. Empowering Pumps and Equipment loves all of this community and happy to support it. So thanks y'all for being here with me today.
Thank you for having us.